My roommate went on a date. She found this guy on Hinge. She got sort of catfished because he just didn't look like his pictures. Because she said she doesn't want to see him again, he was like, okay, well then give me half of the money. He's basically invoicing her for the date. It was at £9. £9. Men really have one thing, and it is the audacity. Hey guys, I'm Lisa eftimescu. Welcome back to the Under the Spotlight podcast. We have a mic. I recently visited my sister and my parents came too, and they brought me my mic from back home. So we now hopefully have professional audio quality. But yeah, welcome back. It has actually been almost a month since I've recorded a podcast episode, which definitely was not the plan. I just, in case you can't hear, I'm still a bit, well, I'm not sick anymore, but my voice is still a bit gone. I don't think I've ever been this sick in my life. I got really sick. I was sick for basically 3 weeks. So I didn't record any podcasts, which I would have, but I fully lost my voice. I didn't speak for 8 days. It was awful. So that is why there was no podcast episode last week, which I do feel bad about. Also because I feel bad about it because I just want to stick to the schedule, but also because I think I need to stick to the schedules, because if I don't, I'm just going to drop off and not post. Like how I haven't posted YouTube channel forever. Oh. It's the editing. Anyway, I miss this. I really miss just fucking talking. I miss being able to talk, obviously. Even though I was like, well, I lost my voice, I was like, oh my god, I don't even remember what it was like to talk. And now I don't even remember what it was like to talk. So in today's episode, I want to do a little bit of a life update, just talk about some random things, and then also talk about some crazy dating stories. Because, men really have one thing, and it is the audacity. I think if we get right started from where we left off, when I last filmed an episode, it was January 31st. I hadn't even launched the podcast yet, which I've been loving doing. I actually got an email that I'm like 58th podcast in. Wait, let me see it. Okay, I can't figure out where the email is, but I got an email that was like 58th most watched podcast in Germany. I can't remember under what category, and I was like, huh? Like, no one watches or listens to this podcast. But if you do, I'm so happy you're here. I swear that was just my dad listening. I don't know. I was really surprised by it, but yay for small milestones. That's really cool. And I definitely was not expecting it at all, especially because I've literally uploaded 3 episodes. Anyway, I feel like I should introduce myself every once in a while. So, hello if you're new here. I'm Lisa eftimescu. I am an actor currently living in England. I'm at drama school training as an actor in England, but I'm originally from Romania. I was born and raised in Germany, and yeah, I upload the Under the Spotlight podcast every single Wednesday, so make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for more. I'm so excited to be back making the podcast. I really am sorry for how my voice sounds. Where I last left off, it was January 1st. It was the weekend before my first performed showing of a scene study we'd been working on for ages. It was right before that, so I was really nervous for that, but also really excited to be doing that. So yeah, that week was actually really lovely. The performance went so well. It went exactly how I wanted it to go, basically, and I finally got this sense of confidence instilled back into me, because I've been really struggling with my confidence ever since getting here, where I actually thought, hey, I'm okay at this, and I kind of slayed. Even now I feel bad talking about myself like that, but even my voice teacher, he said back home, for him, if someone says they're really good at something, other people are gonna be like, oh wow, that's great that you're really good at something, because you should pull yourself up, and then other people should support that, right? Whereas here, like, most people don't even say it sarcastically, and then other people will respond sarcastically to it. And he even said, I think it was him, who said it, are you being humble, or are you insecure and have no confidence in yourself, and are you putting yourself down? Because I always say I'm trying to be humble or whatever, or like say I'm being humble, but really I'm just like, I don't want to brag, but I also just don't really have that confidence in myself, and I have imposter syndrome and everything. So that was powerful words from Sam Malone, my voice teacher. I absolutely love him. He's a Canadian icon, and he's really refreshing, because most of the people I interact with these days are English or British. And not that I dislike that, but it's nice to speak to someone who's also an outsider. As weird as that sounds, not in that way, but like, he gets it because he's not from here, and it is weird moving, to a whole new country with a whole different weird culture that is different from your own, especially for me, because I'm a double immigrant. I was an immigrant in Germany, and I'm an immigrant here. I don't know how I got to that topic, but here we are. I also realized editing and uploading my last 2 podcast episodes that I just sound like I need therapy. So today we're going to talk about happier and lighter things, hopefully. Well, to be fair, other people's dating horror stories, but not my own, at least, because there aren't any. So hopefully it sounds less like I need therapy. Yeah, so that showing just went so well. I loved my director, Frankie, for that. so much. She's just incredible, and she knows exactly what to do and like what exercises to give people and how to like play with people to kind of draw the best out of them and help them. I don't know how the right thing to say or do in the right moment. I'm like, genius. But it seems very effortless when she does it. So that was sick. I just felt good doing that performance, and I could see how much I'd grown from it. So it was really, really nice doing that, and it felt very uplifting, and I'm finally in a place where I'm more confident about my abilities, because I was just really, really struggling with self-confidence from like since the beginning, but especially in like all of December and a lot of January as well, where I just didn't feel like I had a place here at all, and I didn't feel like I felt like I didn't deserve to be there, and I was exhausted. I was like literally exhausted, even just by feeling that way. I was tired of exhausted by feeling that way, tired of feeling that way. It just was like mind. I wanted to escape. I wanted to stop thinking about it, and now I kind of have. And I'm sure, like, I was talking to my friend about this the other day. He's in third year, and he says, like, feelings like that aren't just gonna go away, like, they're gonna come back. And I know they are, but I think it was the first time I felt confident about my acting at all, pretty much. So that's nice. Like, it's a really different feeling, and it's really nice to feel it, because believe me, I've been there with the lack of confidence. That was really nice. And then I had a tutorial, and then that's when I got sick. Literally the next day I started feeling sick, which is so fun. It was off. But then a couple of days after, I had my first like assessed thing, which is crazy to say. It was in February, but it was just a tutorial, so basically a chat. I know it sounds, drama school sounds fake, but genuinely it was the most productive exam and like the most conducive to my learning I've ever had, because it was a chat, so it was really chill. I prepared for it beforehand, but we really just talked. Well, I had to talk, and there were these learning themes I had to hit and like explain like how I was developing, where I was developing, what I needed to work on, how I was gonna work on it, how I had worked on things already, etc. So like, you do have to prepare for it, you know, but it was also like an informal chat, or not informal, it was a formal-ish chat with my course leader, Kate, who I love so much and is also so good at drawing things out of people that they need. And it was just so nice, because the chat, genuinely, like all of it, like preparing for it even, and then just having it helped me, like, I know what my next steps are, and I discussed my next steps with her, and I discussed where I was at, and it just gave me a much better understanding of where I was at in drama school and where I needed to go and how to get there and how to continue working, you know, towards becoming a successful actor. So it was such a helpful conversation to have with her, and I really, really like enjoyed having it even, which was so nice, so refreshing compared to like just the exams I've had in the past couple of years. I liked that it was chill because, oh my god, I'm jumping ahead, but I saw one of my best friends from back home just this weekend. And I was saying, like, I have become much, much less stressed and anxious since being here, and it is literally because I have less like exams and all that to worry about, but also it's just like less pressure to do well academically in a way that like didn't even serve me. Like any pressure I felt and any anxiety I felt for school and stuff literally didn't help me at all, because I wasn't even fucking like I didn't even need to do well academically, and also I was just stressed about it for no fucking reason. And now that like stress source has been eliminated from my life, which is so nice. So it was a lovely chat to have, and we will be having some assessments this year. Like we're assessed on our performance at the end of the year for the next project we're going to be working on for the next couple of weeks as well. So it is serious, and like every day you're training for your craft, and we train long hours, you know. I'm in there 30 hours a week, and it is a lot of work, and I have work I need to do outside of the classroom as well. So it definitely is serious, as much as it sometimes may not look it. Right after my tutorial, I went to the airport and I flew to visit my sister in Rotterdam, which was so lovely. It was one of the most wonderful trips I've ever had in my life. It was so chill. I just went and visited her, and we just spent we hung out together non-stop. And she's actually visiting me this weekend, which I'm also so excited for. She hasn't been here yet, so I'm so excited for her to meet my friends and see my uni, and just literally also just spend time with her. It was so nice. It was so relaxed. I also was done with everything for drama school, because even over Christmas break I had some work I needed to just be doing consistently, so it was nice not to have any work I needed to be doing at all. So I literally just took that week to chill. I was also sick. It was awful. It wasn't that bad at first. Like, I was just sick. Like, I had a normal cold, whatever, swollen tonsils, chill, whatever. Didn't need to be losing my voice afterward, but yet I did. As you can see, I'm still salty about it. Like, it was unnecessary, necessary. It was really necessary for me to be losing my voice like that. And I had acting lessons, voice lessons, and it was not fun. We went for a drink with some of her friends once, and then other than that, we just watched Pretty Little Liars together and hung out. And then my parents also came along for the weekend. We convinced them to come because I was gonna come. So I was like, come too so I can see you. Because I'm not going home to Germany till April, which is, I think, the longest time I'm ever gonna have not been home because I left at the beginning of January. I'll see them at the end of March because it's Easter, so I'm going to Romania to see my grandparents and spend Easter with my grandparents, and then my parents will also be there, which will be so nice. But otherwise, I wouldn't have literally seen them at all until Easter, which is like 3 months, which is crazy. I've never not seen my parents for that long. So it's nice because we did 4 weeks, saw them, and then it's 6 weeks, and I'll see them again. Which, even 6 weeks, it's a long time not to be seeing your parents. But I'm so lucky that I'm even able to see them as often as I do, because I know not everyone who goes to uni abroad or lives abroad or anything is able to see their parents very often, if, you know, at all. And it's just extra nice that my sister's visiting. So yeah, then when my parents were there, again, it was just so fun, relaxed, wholesome. We just hung out as a family and spent time together. It was lovely. It was so nice. Again, I was sick, so that wasn't as nice. Then I got back here, thought I was better. I was not better, so I stayed home the first 2 days I was back. I was sick. Then it was Valentine's Day. I had the most lovely Valentine's with my roommates. We went to the beach in Liverpool, and just literally, it was pitch black, like so dark. We just ran around on the beach and had the most amazing time together. It was a nice little bonding moment for the 3 of us. And we also got a bunch of snacks and pizza and ate it in the car, and it was just a great day. But that night is when I lost my voice. Basically, I had laryngitis instead of tonsillitis. So at the beginning, my tonsils were swollen. Then that kind of went away. I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting better. Thank God. No. I lost my voice completely because my larynx, like my voice box here at just like the front of my throat, was so swollen. I couldn't swallow. Like there were like 3 days where I didn't eat, drink, or talk, or like I couldn't swallow. It was so physically painful for me to swallow. I would sit there with, sounds so gross, but I would sit there with spit in my mouth because I didn't want to swallow it because it hurt so bad, and sometimes I would go spit it out. It was so painful, and just like, I mean, losing your voice alone is just hard when it's 8 days that you can't speak and had to whisper or like type out all my messages, and whispering is also bad for your voice, and it was an ordeal. It was an ordeal. And then last week I actually ended up going to A&E because I didn't actually even feel that sick anymore. I was just starting to get worried about the fact that I hadn't really eaten or drank anything. I don't know if that's right grammar. Hadn't eaten anything. I hadn't eaten or drank anything in so long. I was starting to get worried about like dehydration or whatever. So I was like, let me go to A&E. Have this big, fat, ugly bruise to show for it, which if you're not watching the video version, which is on Spotify or YouTube, you can't see it, but just imagine a really fucking ugly bruise, but it also looks like a donut because there's a hole in the center. Because first they drew my blood. We did wait for a bit. They drew my blood. My levels were actually fine, so I didn't seem dehydrated or anything, which was like, thank God. But then because it was Sunday and I couldn't get my prescription for some antibiotics till the next day, they gave me an infusion of antibiotics, hence the big fat ugly bruise. So yeah, also my roommates came with me to A&E and they stayed with me the whole time, which was really sweet. I didn't want to go alone. And then I finally started feeling better. The swelling finally started to go away. I finally got my voice back, which has been lovely. And we've been doing some amazing things at drama school. It has been so nice. We are working towards like a storytelling vibe kind of module. So we've had some writers come in and some different playwrights and theater makers who are teaching us all these different skills, which has been really nice and useful and just a lot of fun to learn as well. So that's been nice. And then yeah, this weekend I actually literally on Thursday night or Friday morning decided to go visit my best friend from back home at Warwick University, which was really fun. But I left Saturday morning and I came back Sunday evening, which was last night. It literally felt like I was gone there for so long. I mean, we just spent the whole time together talking and catching up and playing like games and chatting shit and whatever, and it was so much fun. Hi Maha, if you're watching. She's like genuinely one of the sweetest, nicest people I've ever met, and it was really just nice to see someone from back home because it felt a little bit like being back home. And it was my first time visiting a legit English uni. I've only ever visited drama schools, so that was really fun. And that is the update on my life so far. I don't know if that was interesting to anyone, but if you're still here, we're going to talk a little bit about dating and girlhood and all of that. So also, I'm trying not to swear. I don't know if I've actually done it because I forgot to think about it right before. I'm trying not to swear as much as the beginning of the podcast because apparently that's bad for monetization. Not that I can monetize my podcast yet, but maybe someday I can. I don't know if I actually followed that or not, but I feel like I've been swearing less. I've been also just trying to swear less because my dad called me after he watched episode 2 and 3 of my podcast, which was really sweet, and he was like, it was really nice to hear like how grateful you are for us, like because he's my dad, which was very sweet that he called me and everything. And then he was like, girl, swear less and also say the I kept saying, and that it pissed me off too, I kept saying the actors killed it. Oh my god, can I use different vocabulary? apparently not. And I also swear a lot. Because I get to swear at uni and like it's all very chill and I can address my teachers by their first name and whatever. I just swear all the time. So trying to get that under control. It doesn't need to be as often as it is. Not to say I shouldn't keep swearing because swearing is so much fun. We're gonna talk about some interesting little dating things. First of all, on dating apps, why do so many guys put for biggest fear? Women, or something that turns me on, crazy women. What? Why? Like, that is an immediate no. Why do you think that you saying you're scared of women or think women are crazy or love crazy women, like none of that is gonna make me want to date you or go out with you or anything. Guys on dating apps just it doesn't seem to make much sense. Like, speaking of dating, the whole reason I even decided to talk about this is because my friend, my roommate, went on a date this weekend and she had a story to tell from it, which was a little shocking, if I'm being totally honest. She found this guy on Hinge and she went on a date with him and it was all right. First of all, she got sort of catfished because he just didn't look like his pictures. She said he must have used some sort of Photoshop on his pictures because he just didn't look like his pictures. Because he looked quite good looking in his pictures and then he was just not as good looking in person, and like she could tell there had been things photoshopped or something. Which I just don't get, guys, or even like people generally, because I know it's not just guys who do this, who lie on their dating profile or Photoshop their dating profile or whatever. People are gonna find out, like, if you meet them. If you're watching the video version and you're seeing my lips right now, that it doesn't stop there. I know they look a little crazy, but have faith. I guess the hope is that, you know, the cute profile will get you the date and then they'll meet you and they'll like you enough to get past it. But even if I like you or you seem nice or you're still attractive or whatever, like, you lied to me, and that's like a weird thing to start on if you're going on a date with someone, especially when they're strangers. So yeah, weird game to play. And then he'd also lied about his height, which again, like, my roommates and I were so short. I'm 1.63 meters, okay? I'm 5'4", which is like average height. And I'm always like, I'm average height, okay? But also I don't actually care about my height. My roommates are even shorter than me. It is so weird being the tallest woman in the house, okay? I get asked to reach for things off high shelves. Makes me feel like a strong, independent woman, but also like I'm not that tall. I can reach everything in this house because also the ceilings aren't that high or whatever. But it is weird being asked to reach for stuff that's not me. So yeah, none of us are tall. Like I personally don't care about guys' height. They don't care at all. Just don't lie about it. Anyway, so they met up. They went on the date. The conversation was okay, but then like he lied to her. She couldn't really get past that, and it was like just meh as a whole. But then he paid for the food and they hung out a bit and then they left. And then she was actually really nice. She messaged him, which she could have ghosted, okay? No appreciation for this though, but she messaged him, he messaged her. He also said, like, how do you think that went? Which is fine, but it just, I was like, oh, cringe. I mean, I guess nice, asking for feedback, whatever. And he said it went pretty well. And she was like, yeah, no, it was nice, but I'm just gonna be honest with you, I don't see this going anywhere, so I don't think I'd want to do it again. But I did have a nice time. She's like being really nice about it. And then he responds, he's like, yeah, okay, sorry to hear that. What went wrong? Again, nice to ask for feedback, but I don't know. If you disagree and like, I don't know, don't Photoshop your dating profile. What do you think went wrong? Anyway, also, I really want to, I'm going to read some, like, crazy dating stories from Reddit and stuff, because I feel like that always has good stuff. But if you want to send in your own crazy dating stories, or you want to, like, ask for advice, do that kind of stuff, I'd love to do those kinds of things. So you can message me on Instagram. You can leave a comment here. My Instagram is at eftimescu, or you can message me on TikTok or whatever. I'd love to do that in the future if you have any crazy dating stories or anything like that. Just send them to me. I might put something up on my Instagram before I film an episode like that as well. And then this is the straw that broke the camel's back. I don't know how to describe it, but he's like, since I drove all the way out there to see you, can you send me your half of the food? Like, hello? Like, I do not mind splitting the bill on the first date. That is fine. I'm not gonna pay for all of it. He paid for all of it, and then I'm so certain that because she said she doesn't want to see him again, he was like, okay, well then give me half of the money. Like, I read this and I was shocked. My jaw dropped. He's basically invoicing her for the day. He was like, I'll send you my bank details. It was at £9. Like, I get it. If it had been expensive, whatever, sure. But then split the bill in the first place. Don't fucking do it afterwards. £9. The man wanted to get £9 back. So, like I said, men really have one thing, and it is the audacity. Which actually brings me to another really interesting topic that I wanted to share my views on / ask you guys what thoughts you have. And it was, I saw a TikTok about a girl and her guy. So Let's name these people because otherwise I'll get confused. We have Sarah, Max, and Jessica. Sarah and Max are dating. Jessica is Sarah's best friend. Sarah and Max are on FaceTime with Jessica. Sarah asked Jessica what she was doing on Tuesday. Max is like, oh, you were with me. We went to the cinema, like the guy and the friend. And then she's like, no, I was at home. I don't know what you were doing. And it turned out to be a test to see if the girl would cover for her best friend's friend or not. And she didn't, which, as you shouldn't. So someone just talking about this in this TikTok and was saying, I didn't do this for girl code. I didn't do this for my, like, just for my girl. I would do the same thing if the boyfriend was asking what the girl had been doing at that time. And then people are really, really split on whether that is breaking girl code or not breaking girl code or what you should do or not. Because basically the reason people are like, no, I would also tell the truth to my guy friend or to my girlfriend's man if she's like cheating or something, which I get, like I get where they're coming from. But then a lot of the comments are like, okay, but like there's so many different situations she could be lying in. Like you don't know what situation she could be lying in. Like there could be abuse going on, that's relationship. There are other reasons, like there could be a bigger reason why she's lying. But even aside from that, in my personal opinion, and like I could be wrong, you can disagree with me. In my personal opinion, if my sister or one of my best friends or any of my girlfriends ask me to basically lie for them, I would. And the reason why is like, it's not even just girl code. It's not even just those situations where like maybe they're in danger or maybe there's like a big reason or like a surprise that they're trying to cover up and that's why they're lying. Like even if they're not, like I don't know in the first place. So if I was just asked on the spot, like, was Jessica with you? Jessica being my best friend and her boyfriend asked me, was Jessica with you Tuesday night? Yes, she was. That is my automatic response because like, especially with like my sister or my best friend, like I am on your side. Like even, and then if they do something, like if I find out that they're cheating or whatever, like I would come down on them morally, but I'm not gonna expose you to your boyfriend because you're my sister or you're my best friend and I love you to pieces. And like, even if you're doing something immoral, like I wouldn't approve of it. Like I can't even imagine my sister or my best friend or someone cheating, but like if they were, I would be like that is not okay. I don't support that. I don't agree with what you're doing, etc., etc., etc. But they're my best friend. They're like my sister, either my sister or they're like my sisters. Like I'm not gonna betray them. Like, I don't know if that's the wrong moral standard. Some people were saying you need to have moral standards even for your closest friends, and I get it, but if I'm honest, I disagree. I will cover for you. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna condemn you morally. Also, if it's my guy like best friend and a girl friend who I'm not that close with and I'm telling the guy the truth, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? People were very divided and I just think that those are my thoughts. Yeah. Also, like I did say, like I would, like I'm very happy to split the bill. This is going back to the whole billing the girl for the day afterward thing. But I'm very happy to split the bill on a date. But might I say, we women have had to suffer at the hands of the patriarchy for thousands and thousands of years, while men have and continue to thrive because of it. Not all men and blah, blah, blah. I don't think it's wrong if women get to take a little bit of an advantage of the patriarchy every once in a while because of it. So if men be paying for my first date food and whatever, that is better. Literally, I was gonna make a TikTok of like things I like about the patriarchy. And it's a very, very short list, which is why I never made the TikTok. One of them was like men carrying stuff for me. Love it. Love it. Like when they carry, like when I go to a hotel and they carry my suitcase up the stairs. Thank you so much. I'm a weak bitch and I don't want to carry my suitcase up the stairs. I really appreciate it. Now I'm trying to think what were the other ones. I did write them down because things I like about the page. Alright, it's two things. The other one was no conscription. I find it crazy that there's conscription in the US. Like you have to sign up for the draft when you're 18 in the US, even though there's no war, like you're not going to be called up into service or anything, but there is conscription. I find that crazy. Anyway, oh my god, the other thing I've been doing is I've been reading Fourth Wing, which is not like, it's not new. Like it went viral on TikTok last year and everyone knows how amazing it is, but oh my god, it is so good. I realized I need to read fantasy more because I actually love it. I forget how much I love it. I'll just read the little rom-coms and they're not that good. But oh my god, it was the first time I've read a new fantasy book in a while and I was so excited reading it. I was like, because I was just so entranced by it. Love the world building, love like the story, and it was just so good, so well written, which I really, really enjoyed. And I was so excited about it. I would like skip ahead on the page because I just wanted to know what happened. Like I couldn't stop reading, couldn't go to sleep because I was so excited about it. I loved it. I was so excited about it that I literally emailed my English teachers because I didn't have anyone to talk about it to. I told my sister to read it, I told my dad to read it, I told my friends to read it, but some of them don't even read. So I was like, I need to tell someone how good this is. So I emailed my English teachers. I was literally like, two of my favorite English teachers. Read Fourth Wing. I was like, it's so good. And then one of them responded and we had like a nice chat about English and literature, which has been something I've been missing a bit more because I do love English and books and reading and all that. I'm actually thinking of starting a little book club at my uni. We already have a book club, but it's for plays. And that was so nice. Like even just talking about English and stuff makes me so, so excited. I really, really like how it's written. No spoilers, of course. I feel like it's more empowering for women than a lot of fantasy series like that and less like I think it's less damsel in distressy kind of vibes, which is nice. And yeah, it's just good. It's a good read. I'm on the second one now. I can't wait for more. I don't want to have to wait for more. But there we are. Also, like, the main girl, who wants to make a show or a movie out of it and cast me. I'm ready. I'm right here. I'm so ready for it. Like I said a bit earlier, we are going to react to some dating horror stories, specifically online dating horror stories. Like I said, if you want to submit any of these for me to talk about or give advice on, or like just general advice, questions, or crazy stories you want me to talk about or react to, I'd love to make this a regular thing. Oh, before we do that, oh my god, I'm so distracted. I want to start this new thing where I rant about one thing I'm mad about that week. And I'm going to talk about, which I'm not mad about right now, but I'm going to talk about the thing that inspired this, which I talked a little bit about on my TikTok. I made a TikTok basically saying it makes me so fucking angry. I was gonna say irrationally angry, but it's not irrational, that movies in the cinema do not have subtitles on them. First of all, I'm hard of hearing. Second of all, English is my third language, which I know doesn't sound like it, and I don't struggle understanding the English in movies or anything like that, but I do with the accents, especially strong, like English accents or Scottish accents or whatever. I don't know, we know what they be seeing, not in real life and definitely not in the movies. It just blows my mind that in 2024 we do not have subtitles in cinemas, because there are so many people, like hard of hearing people, deaf people, and other groups. Like, I genuinely think millions of people would benefit just from having subtitles in cinemas, and it is such an easy thing to do. And I think people are saying, like, some don't do it because it's expensive. Yeah, it costs more money, but like there would be so much more accessibility at cinemas, which I think is so fucking important. And yeah, it annoys some people. I'm sorry, if you're that distracted by like subtitles on movies, sure, then they should have like special time for movies without subtitles, because that's what they do they have times where they'll play movies with subtitles, but it'll be like in the morning. It'll be like a morning showing, or like a really inconvenient time slot, so as to not inconvenience everyone else, which I think is such bullshit. We're more than 15 minutes into the podcast, so I can swear as much as I fucking want. It makes me so angry because it just seems like such an obvious thing to me. Accessibility is needed. So many people need subtitles and can't enjoy the cinema because of that, and it's like, it is such an easy fix. It makes me really, really angry. I actually had a nice response on that TikTok because a lot of people were like agreeing with me, and then some people were saying like they find it distracting, whereas other people were saying it helps them focus, which honestly I agree, it does help me focus. And it's also nice, like I just kind of read along with it if I'm like a little distracted or I miss something or whatever. Like it's just like a nice way to actually catch what they're saying in the fucking movie. So that is the thing I'm mad about today. I just thought it'd be fun to talk about things I'm mad about. I had a whole list of ideas for them, now I've forgotten them all. That's okay, because I don't need to think of one till the next episode. Let's react to some Reddit dating stories. On OkCupid, summer 2006. I was 2. I wasn't even 2. I was 1. I was a year old. That's so weird. Like, I can't believe dating apps have been around for so long. Also, I was asked by someone if people still use dating apps these days, and it feels like this generation doesn't anymore. And we do. Like, I'm definitely on them, but I was gonna say I'm on them, but like I haven't gone on a date from them. I don't even fucking like texting people, getting to know people over text and like sustaining long conversations with them and stuff. It's just so exhausting, and the whole dating app thing is so exhausting. I want to put myself out there and like go on dates from it and whatever, but someday, soon I will be providing some funny dating stories from my own life. Let's read these. On OkCupid, summer 2006, I met a girl in West Hollywood and we went to dinner. She turned out to be way bigger than her pictures, insanely rich, was Ozzy Osbourne's cardiologist's daughter or some shit like that, and had a nasty coke habit. The whole date, she was doing cocaine in the bathroom and barely ate her food, and then afterwards we went back to her place where she visibly spiked my drink with a Mickey, I don't know what a Mickey is, and then asked me to tie her up, and then refusing to allow me to drive my car out of her garage, leaving me to wait in my car all night until the morning when I followed someone out. She called me 3 days later to say that I caused her miscarriage, did not know she was pregnant. Oh my god. That... Oh, Jesus. I don't even know what to say to that. That is just a whole load of crazy. I have no words. I don't even have any like things to comment on that. Met a girl through a dating app who insisted on meeting on a Friday night for drinks after work, despite her regularly working overtime, claiming that her weekends are all booked solid for weeks to come. I obliged. We go out, and within an hour she literally falls asleep at the bar, drink in hand. I mean, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I wake her up and ask if she wants to call it and head home early, saying we can try again another day. That's really sweet. She insists she's good and then knocks out again. This happens 3 times. Eventually we wrapped things up and headed home, and she messaged me afterwards like nothing was wrong, asking if I wanted to meet again. Interesting. Years back, I met a girl on Tinder who had the typical anonymous pictures not showing much. She would message me in fluent English, fancy words and all that, proper punctuation too. I got curious and agreed to go on a date. When we met up, it turned out she did not speak a word of English and instead would use Google Translate to talk, so her conversations consisted of a lot of waiting and the occasional robot voice coming from her phone. It was literally me trying to talk when I had no voice. I'd Google Translate out and sometimes I would just play it instead of like having them read it because people get sick of reading what you want to say to them. It's so annoying. A few days later, she took me to a love hotel. Don't know what that is, but I can imagine. And to get in the mood, she put on the movie It and proceeded to imitate the creepy clown word for word throughout the movie. That being my first time hearing her really talk got me laughing pretty hard. Wait, plot twist. Years later, we got married and still happily are. Not really a horror story, lol, but hearing my date talk like a killer clown was enough to keep me interested. She speaks normally now, lol. Wait, that's kind of cute and wholesome. This is a funny one. I got to know a nice gal online for a few weeks before we decided to meet up for a hiking date. She only wanted to communicate through email or the dating site, which I thought was odd, but just went with it. 30 minutes into our date, I found out why. She's married, and her husband is a jealous gun-collecting hunter type whom she's thinking about leaving. Oh my god, I would be terrified. I don't want to get, like, shot at. For 90 minutes, I felt like a deer during hunting season on that hike. Every bush movement and take twig snap, I was sure was him. Oh my god, I would be so scared. Oh my god. After a few OkCupid attempts, I ended up dating a guy a few times. Eventually, he asked if I'd like to see his flat, and I said yes. He had loads of swords and machetes on the wall and decided to hold one to my throat to show how incredibly strong they were. Again, terrifying. What the fuck? As he walked me to my car, he said, "Want to go back to my place?" I declined and he threw a temper tantrum, saying I owed it to him because he paid for dinner. No one ever owes you anything. Oh my god. When I reminded him I paid for the movies, his soda at the movies, and the coffees, and he got some $10 Frappuccino mess that sounded disgusting, he said it didn't matter because I still owed it to him because he was nice enough to take me out. Oh my god. What? I don't want to date anymore. Holy shit. Okay, I'm going to read one last one and I'm going to stop there before I lose my dating hope forever and faith in people. Met a guy for a coffee I had been talking to online. He started acting weird within 5 minutes, and when I asked why, he told me he was disappointed that my breasts look bigger in my online pic. Then he continued on with how important big breasts were to him. After about 5 minutes, I cut him off and asked, 5 minutes? Oh my god. I can picture having to hear that. Oh, sounds awful. After about 5 minutes, I cut him off and asked how big his penis is. The answer was unimportant as I grabbed my stuff, said, "Too small for me," and walked out. Queen absolutely popped off. One last one. He said, "I have 4 kids from 3 different women. I've cheated on all of them, but something tells me it will be different with you. Do you like kids?" I excused myself to the bathroom and ran for the hills. Oh my god. That is actually insane. If I have made you lose your faith in dating, I am so sorry, but I really enjoyed doing this. This was really fun. I want to, because I've seen other people on podcasts do this, but I want to find more like curated ones. I know they're good stories in advance, but I also like the shock factor of not having read it before. So send me in your dating stories if you want. Yeah, I really, really hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the podcast. As much as I have lost my faith in humanity, I have also enjoyed it. I'm so happy to be back. I'm so happy to be talking again. Oh my god. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the podcast. Make sure you subscribe, edit, listen again, whatever other things you can do to subscribe to the podcast. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can watch the video version of this. Everything is linked somewhere on all platforms. And yeah, come back every single Wednesday for more. Okay, bye. I can't even go higher. Okay, bye. Oh my god.